Hi, today we're going to be changing the spark plugs and the coils on a 2001 Volvo V70 2.4 5-cylinder base wagon. The coil and spark plugs, they are located under the cover on top of the engine, and you have 8 screws holding the cover and 2 clips on the side, one in the front and one on the back of the engine. After you remove the screws, lift the small section first in the front and then the back, and that reveal the spark plugs and the coils. As you can see, I already replaced one of the coils and I have 4 more to replace. Replaced this one about 3 months ago, and another one is giving me problems again, so I'm just gonna go ahead and replace all 4 remaining. If you just want to replace one of the coils, the simple way to test it, just turn on the engine, and when you feel the engine missing, just unplug each of your coils on each section, and if they start missing more, so just plug it back in and go to the next one and unplug it until you unplug the failing coil, and the engine will stay at the same level smooth. The missing won't increase. Here I got everything I need: the 5 spark plugs and the 4 coils that I'm gonna be replacing. I'm gonna need a 10 millimeter to remove the screws from each coil, and a screwdriver. It's a little star. I'm not remember the exact size, but you'll need one of the screwdrivers to remove the cover. To remove each coil, you'll have to remove the 8 millimeter bolt that you have that is holding it down. Then carefully unhook your coils without breaking the clip. Let's see if I can do it without breaking the clip. There we go. And then just pull the coil out, and it should just unplug and come out, and that'll be number 5. And in there you'll see the spark plug that is going to be replaced pretty soon. To remove the spark plugs, I'll be using a ratchet with an extension, a 5/8 socket, and a piece of pipe that I had there, plastic tubing, just to pull the old spark plug out. And when you're removing the spark plug, make sure that you don't get any garbage or debris in the hole whenever after you remove the spark plug, because it might make things a little bit difficult to clean it out of there, even though you could use a vacuum cleaner if you get any garbage in there. Here, after I finish loosening up the spark plug, then I'll take my trusty little piece of tubing, insert in the hole, and just grab the spark plug out. And let's see, it should come out pretty easy. At least there we go, and it's out. This one haven't been changed for a long time, so it looks pretty sad. They should be changed between 75 to 100,000 miles on the spark plugs. Now we're gonna put the new spark plug back in. So you see the difference between the old one and the new one. And in this one, I'm trying to do this with one hand. Just put this the spark plug in the tubing to hold it there to store the threads, to make sure you don't cross thread it, because then you'll have a bigger problem than just a bad spark plug. So we're just going in. Okay. And with the tube, we just start turning and make sure that it goes as far as you can to make sure that that you don't get frustrated when you're trying to get it tight. Then just pull the tubing out, and that'll be ready to get tight with the ratchet. Now we just use the ratchet to get it tight. We just get it snug. Don't over tighten it because that could cause another problem too. That should be good. I'm not sure what is the torque on it, but just make sure that it's nicely snug and not over torque. Now we're just gonna put the new coil in, and it goes in. Get the wiring off the way. There we go. Sometimes it's kind of hard doing things with one hand, but then just push it until it clicks. Then plug it back in. And then we're just gonna put the little screw back and make sure you get it nice and tight. And we just repeat that to every single coil until we finish replacing each one. Here we're gonna replace the other spark plug, and we'll do the same. Just stick your tubing in to grab the spark plug, and there it is. We have the other spark plug. I forgot to take the bolt out of this one to replace the spark plug, but I will be doing that already. Have the other ones ready without the bolt holding it, so they should be easy to replace. It's a simple procedure, you know. If you pay a mechanic, certified mechanic, you'll pay big bucks to do it when you can do it for pennies on the dollar. And on this one, I don't remember if I mentioned it, I'm using a 5/8, even though it's a metric, but I found that the 5/8 works fine on the spark plug, and the 10mm to get the bolts of the coils. And now that the spark plug is back in, we just take our coil and insert it back in. We gotta find the tip of the spark plug down there and push it down until you feel it that clicks in. There we go. And then just plug it back in. Like you can see, my wiring is just coming apart. It's a 2001 old, really not taking really good care of it, but still runs. And I've broken in just a little bit of the clip here, but hopefully will be holding good. If not, I'll have to make something just to make sure that the connection don't come loose while their engine is running. Here, I'm gonna remove the screw or the bolt of the newer coil, and it's they're pretty loose. They're not really hard to take off, and it just take it's a pretty long screw to take off, but it's okay. It just take a little time. Pretty easy and simple procedure to do a tune-up on your Volvo V70. Just take it off, make sure that you don't lose it to put it back in, and unhook the connection. We pull the spark plug, the coil out to get the spark plug replaced on this one. And something went wrong on this one. This is a brand new coil and it just came apart on me. Well, let's see what we can do on this. Well, how you can see, the only thing that came off it was the rubber boot that comes to just insulate the spark plug coming out. So this should be a easy fix. You just had to put it back on and put the spark plug in, and I guess the aftermarket parts, they don't make it as good as the factory OEM, but it will do the job. And I'll put this one together and replace the spark plug and put it all back in. And here I just put the rubber boot back in the coil, and I took it in little some tweezers and make sure the coil inside is all the way out, so we'll make connection with the spark plug when I put it back in, but it should be okay.